Hi, it's Tara Green, and I'm going to bring you the week ahead here. It's April the 5th. You can see on the top there, that's the Moon in Capricorn, making last aspect already happened to Pluto in Capricorn, and that's a very heavy aspect. So in the middle of the night, you might have felt those shadows, those heavy conspiracy theories, whatever your fears are, coming up in your dreams. And then the moon is void, of course, and until it enters the sign of Aquarius, area Aquarius, revolutionary, at 9:04 a.m. This is Eastern Daylight Time on the left, and in bold it's Pacific Daylight Time. So add on whatever hours you're at. And so Moon in Aquarius over the next couple of days, the moon changes sign every 2.5 days. We get to be emotionally detached. Wherever the moon is where the mood is. So Moon in Aquarius, of course, is the lunar return for all Aquarian suns and moons and all of people who have planets in Aquarius. When the moon touches your sign, that is a kind of new moon, personal new moon for you. And it's worth checking out. So because wherever the moon is, that's how people are feeling. So people are going to be feeling kind of detached, very scientific, new ideas, revolutionary. It's kind of hyper energy. I always think of Aquarius energy like lightning. So the moon will sextile Mercury in Aries. Again, you can see 2:19 p.m. Give you lots of new ideas. Mercury in Aries, of course, is firing up our brains. And of course, there's a kind of an Aries overload of planets happening now. We haven't had a lot of planets in fire for quite a while. Then again, in Pacific Daylight Time, the moon squares Uranus and Taurus and sextiles Chiron and Aries. And those aspects are repeated as we go down here. This is now Tuesday, April the 6th here. So on the 6th, Aquarius moon squaring Uranus and Taurus, excuse me, just after midnight affects stock markets, especially cryptocurrency markets, which are going on 24/7. Again, makes you restless, but quite creative. Uranus and Taurus is very creative. Tapping into higher consciousness there. Moon sextiling Chiron and Aries in the middle of the night. You might want to talk about or your feelings, what you've been hiding, how the burden of being a warrior all the time and never able to let down your armor. The moon then conjuncts Saturn in Aquarius at 6:32 a.m. Again, this is Eastern Daylight Time on April the 6th. Saturn rules Aquarius, so this monthly conjunction brings it all back home. We get to really feel what Saturn is like in Aquarius, so that would be a good time if you're up early just to check out how you're feeling, because the whole thing about doing astrology is to understand the interconnection of the as above, so below, and how they are real manifested events and situations. So one of the nice major planetary aspects today is Venus in Aries sextiling Mars in Gemini. So they are, Venus is in Mars' sign. Mars rules Aries. And so she's kind of learning about what Mars has to talk about. And all sextiles are nice 60-degree aspects, so the planets are conversing easily. They're in elements that get along well, fire and air. So you could light a little bonfire there early in the morning. Again, new ideas. You want to sprint out the box. You want to get up early. You want to get going. It's a good time for marketing, sales, connecting, communicating, all of that stuff. And then the Aquarius moon also sextiles the sun in Aries. You can see there's all those little asterisks are symbols of the stars, and they're all nice, easy aspects there. So the moon and the sun. The moon is not a sun, of course, or a star, but of course the sun is. Again, it's at 4:40 p.m. Again, nice way to connect with people on the same wavelength, good for communications and collaborations and organizations and organizing. Moon trines Mars and Gemini. So this is a nice airy aspect. So all planets in air signs, including Libra, would get the benefit whenever the moon is in Aquarius. So any placements of planets you have in air signs benefit. The moon then sextiles Venus. So the moon is just kind of engaging in a friendly, open, supportive way. That's nice. And then on the 7th, April the 7th, this is the anniversary of my mother's birth, actually. The moon conjunct Jupiter. Now, this is a very optimistic, very positive moon and Jupiter together, expansive, fertile, even though it's in Aquarius, which is an air sign, not considered fertile normally, but good for really engaging with people or coming up with great new ideas. You're full of energy, radical freedom, thinking outside the box, all of that stuff, right? And then the moon is void, of course, there on the 7th at 6:05 a.m. That's Eastern Daylight Time until it enters Pisces at 4:30 p.m. So basically, most of Wednesday is a pretty easy day. Only positive aspects, and Moon entering Pisces is very different elementally because we go deep into the emotions. We want to retreat. It's good to be by water, do water rituals, reflect on things. And then again on the 8th, very light. Only one major lunar aspect here. The moon sextiles Uranus and Taurus again. So Moon in Pisces, best time to dream, good time to cut your hair, good time to sprout seeds, good time to meditate, to visualize, to practice. Can you be the fly on the wall, to send messages to people, to do art, to be creative, to tune within, to listen to your feelings, okay? So your feelings can open up with that nice sextile moon to Uranus. So let's get on to the 9th now. Okay, so on the 9th, okay, so here we have, just pull out here a bit, Mercury conjunct Chiron in Aries again. This happens on the 9th, early in the morning. So again, opening up to your feelings. Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes an Aries person kind of keeps burning, and they'll burn and burn until they're burnt out, and then they can start to feel their feelings. So you might feel that. You might be feeling fatigued, which is not usually an Aries kind of energy because they have tons of energy. So Mercury in Aries wants to get on the go, but I think you have to remember that you're hurting. And I keep hearing stories about people hurting and grieving and people dying, and don't pass that by. It's very important psychologically and health-wise to mourn any losses you've had that you haven't done so yet. So Pisces moon, of course, will bring out empathy, compassion, forgiveness. Anybody you want to forgive, was the moon squares Mars and Gemini. You may want to reach out to someone you never had closure with. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and talk about it or write about it or do it just for yourself, so you're freeing yourself up. The moon then conjuncts Neptune and Pisces on the 9th. Now this is very beautiful, very uplifting. Neptune rules Pisces, so very dreamy, like it's a good time to fantasize, to do art, to write poetry, to make love, to take a magic carpet ride, to dream of a better world, to send positive, beautiful energy out to the world, to get into a bath, to send prayers for the waters of the world. And then Mars squares Neptune and Pisces. So again, this is a very powerful aspect. This can actually cause difficulties with the markets. Any bubbles could explode at this point. Neptune and Pisces rules debt in all markets, housing markets, bubbles, cryptocurrencies, any of that stuff. Mars and Gemini is always communications, talking about your dreams, talking about your fantasies, talking about your imagination, getting it down on paper, working in a new partnership, connecting with someone, a soulmate. There's so many different aspects to this beautiful aspect. Partnering up with someone in a creative project. So Mars and Gemini, your brains are going to be kind of all over the place and very absorbative. Neptune and Pisces absorbs and is a big chameleon. So you can change your mind as much as you want. Geminis, even if it drives everybody else crazy, but they might really understand all that on the 9th. And then the moon sextiles Pluto and Capricorn to give us kind of weight there. And then the moon goes void, of course, there at 7:48 p.m. on the 9th until it enters Aries at 11:11 p.m. There's 11:11. If you're in Pacific Daylight Time, that's a very powerful energy. 11:11 is about remembering why you came here. I know in Google it always says just to make a wish, but it's actually much more interesting than that, actually. So there, we're at the 10th already. Moon in Aries, so brand new beginning. Okay, we're loading up for all this Aries. There's a big new moon on the 11th. I'm doing another one of my astrology, new moon magic workshops and rituals on the 11th at 7:30 p.m. That's Eastern Daylight Time. If you want to sign up for that, you can go to my website. I'm going to put up the information about that shortly. So Moon in Aries, Mercury sextiles Saturn, Venus sextiles Jupiter, the moon conjuncts Chiron, and the moon sextiles Saturn. So again, it's pretty easy aspects all this week. Very sexual. Mars in there, Venus is in there. Venus, Mars, very sexy, romantic week. So again, these supportive aspects, Mercury and Aries to Saturn Aquarius, get those new ideas on the road. Start lobbying, start organizing. Venus sextile Jupiter, very beautiful, positive for Sagittarius, for Aries, for Scorpio, for Pisces. Jupiter rules Pisces and Sag. Venus is in Mars' sign, so she's bringing the love to all you Aries. The moon conjuncts Chiron, so that might be a bump in the road, though. Moon conjunct Chiron is always a hurt. You want to express the pain, burn it out, anger, get the anger out. Whatever you've been angry about, thousands of years of abuses in the world. The moon sextile Saturn in Aquarius, so it gives you a chance to detach then. So as we're moving into the 11th here, on the 11th there is, in terms of planets here, there's Chiron in Aries, there's Mercury in Aries, there's Ceres in Aries, there's the moon in Aries, there's the sun in Aries at 22 degrees, there's Eris in Aries, and there's Venus in Aries at 26. So everything is like, I've never seen this many planets in Aries. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you have a child this day, septuple Aries, warrioress, Amazon. So again, see those aspects there repeating in Eastern Daylight Time, moon sextile Saturn, moon conjunct Mercury. That there's the new moon energy there. It's at night at 10:31 p.m. That's Eastern Daylight Time. Venus square Pluto. So again, this is one of the richest. Pluto rules soul riches. Venus and Aries, new soul riches. People could be taking rewards for things, or a promotion for women in power, government, new government institutions, and then the moon sextiles Mars and Gemini. So again, good for communications, keeping everything up front. So I'm inviting you to please join me on April the 11th for the Aries initiation, the new moon initiation, fiery initiation, astrology magic workshop, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, live on Zoom. Get in touch with me at taratarot.com. Sending you many blessings. If you want to get in touch with me, I'm at infinitynow.wordpress. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok too. Many blessings to you.